I'm 92 years old today, and I've come to realize that most of you are living your lives like you have an infinite supply of tomorrows, but you don't. You're spending your precious days adding more money, more stuff, more stress. I'm standing here at the end of my road to tell you that it's time to stop. I've identified exactly 6 things, 6 heavy weights that you need to drop before the sun goes down today and before it's too late for you to truly breathe. Listen close. The peace you're looking for isn't about what you need to start doing. It's about these 6 things you need to quit right now. And I'm warning you, pay close attention to every single one of these. Most of you are carrying these burdens right now, and if you don't get this right, nothing else you've built in this life will feel like enough. These are the things that leave the deepest scars when the clock finally stops. Now, I'm not some life coach in a suit. I'm a man who spent 40 years working in a noisy steel mill, coming home with grease under my fingernails and a temper that cost me more than I'd like to admit. I've lived through hard times, lost a wife to a sickness we couldn't name back then, and I've watched my best friends turn into names on a gravestone. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a survivor of my own stubborn pride. I've spent too many nights sitting in my old leather chair, staring at the evening news, feeling the weight of things I should have let go of decades ago. I'm flawed. I've made mistakes that still keep me awake when the house gets quiet. But those mistakes taught me a truth that only comes with gray hair and a lot of loss. The first weight you need to drop, and I mean drop it right where you stand, is that old bitter anger you've been feeding like a pet. Stop holding grudges. I had a falling out with my brother Dave over a piece of family land back in the 90s. We didn't speak for 12 years. 12 years of empty chairs at Christmas and names we didn't mention because it hurt too much to bring them up. I thought I was being strong. I thought my silence was a way of winning. But anger isn't a prize you win. It's a debt you pay every single day. I spent a decade replaying that argument in my head while I was sitting on my porch, missing the beauty of the afternoon because I was too busy being right. When Dave finally passed away, I sat at his funeral looking at a closed casket, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember why that land mattered so much. The pride was gone, the land was still there, but my brother was silent. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't hurt them. Dave went on living his life while I was the one with the knot in my stomach and the sour taste in my mouth. It's a stone in your pocket that makes you limp while the world moves on without you. You aren't punishing them by staying mad. You're just exhausting yourself. Drop the stone, not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because you deserve to walk without a limp. Number 2, stop arguing with fools. This is a leak in your soul that most men don't even notice until their tank is empty. As we feel this burning need to be understood, to correct the world, to win the debate at the dinner table or on those glowing screens we carry. But have you ever noticed that a fool doesn't want the truth? He only wants an audience. I remember wasting 3 hours of a perfectly good Saturday arguing with a neighbor about a fence line and politics. The sun was setting, painting the sky in colors I'll never see again, but I didn't see them. I was too busy trying to win a fight that changed absolutely nothing. I went inside with a racing heart and a headache, while he went inside and forgot everything I said. I traded a piece of my life for a moment of ego. Now, when someone tells me something I know is flat out wrong, I just nod. I smile and I say, maybe you're right. It's the most powerful thing a man can say, not because they are right, but because your peace is worth more than their education. At my age, your energy is a finite resource. You don't waste your last bit of battery on a toy that's already broken. If a conversation costs you your quiet mind, it's a bad deal. Let them be wrong. You go watch the birds instead. Number 3, stop saying yes to everyone else while you're saying no to yourself. For most of my life, I was the man everyone called when they needed a hand. Frank can fix the roof. Frank can drive me 2 towns over. Frank can host the family dinner. I thought I was being a good man. I thought I was building a legacy of being helpful. But really, I was just a man who was terrified of someone being disappointed in me. I was living in an invisible cage I built with my own hands. I missed my youngest daughter's school play because I was helping a guy I barely liked fix a lawnmower he should have replaced years ago. I spent my weekends exhausted, doing chores for people who wouldn't have checked on me if I disappeared. You think your time is an infinite well, but you're dipping into it for people who are just looking for a free drink. When you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're stealing from your own soul. You're stealing the quiet afternoon you earned, the book you wanted to read, or the nap your body is begging for. Now, I've learned that no is a complete sentence. It doesn't need an excuse. It doesn't need a lie to soften the blow. It's okay to be the villain in someone else's story, if it means you're finally the hero of your own. Your time is yours, and it's running out. Guard it like a man guards his home. Number 4, stop ignoring the small signs. This is for the men who think they're made of iron, the ones who think pushing through it is a badge of honor. We treat our trucks better than we treat our own skin and bones. We spend a whole Saturday listening for a tick in an engine, but we'll ignore the ringing in our ears or the way our heart skips a beat when we climb the stairs. I spent years pretending my hearing was just fine. I'd nod at my grandkids and laugh when they laughed, even though their voices sounded like they were underwater. I thought hearing aids were for old men, and I wasn't an old man yet. But you know what that pride got me? It got me silence. I was sitting at my own kitchen table, surrounded by the people I loved. Yeah, and I was completely alone because I couldn't join the conversation. I was a ghost in my own house. By the time I finally went to the doctor, I'd missed years of secrets, jokes, and I love yous that I can never get back. It's the same with the teeth that ache or the joints that creak. We call it getting old, but often it's just neglect. Don't be so tough that you become a burden to yourself later on. Tough isn't ignoring the pain. Tough is having the sense to fix the leak before the whole house floods. Listen to the whispers of your body today while they're still just whispers. Because if you don't, I promise you, one day those whispers are going to turn into a scream you can't ignore. Number 5, stop comparing the man you are today to the man you were 40 years ago. This is a trap that breaks more men than anything else. I see guys my age looking in the mirror and hating the wrinkles or getting frustrated because it takes them twice as long to get out of bed as it used to. They live in a museum of used to be. They're obsessed with a man who could carry a 100-pound sack of concrete or work a double shift without breaking a sweat. I used to be that man. I was the strongest guy on my block, and I took a lot of pride in that. But that man is gone. He served his purpose. He built the house, he protected the family, and he fought his battles. If I spend all my time mourning him, I miss the man who is sitting here right now, the one who actually has the wisdom to know what those battles were for. I've seen men give up on life because they couldn't be 25 anymore. They stop trying, they stop learning, and they sit in the dark and wait for the end. But an oak tree doesn't complain because it's no longer a sapling. It just stands tall and lets its branches offer shade. You aren't a fading version of your past. You are the final, refined result of everything you've survived. Don't let the ghost of your youth steal the beauty of your old age. There is a different kind of strength in being able to sit still, to listen, and to finally understand the world. Stop looking in the rearview mirror, or you're going to crash into the beauty of the day that's right in front of you. Number 6, stop keeping the good stuff for later. This is the one that gets us all. We spend our lives saving things for a special occasion that never quite arrives. I had a buddy named Pete who bought a brand new set of top-tier fishing rods when he retired. He kept them in the original plastic, hanging in his garage. He told me he was waiting for the perfect trip, the one where he'd finally head up to the big lakes in the north. He didn't want to scuff them up on the local pond. Pete died 3 winters later, and those rods were still in the plastic. His kids sold them at a yard sale for $20 to a guy who didn't even know Pete's name. That stranger is out there right now, catching fish with Pete's dream. We do it with everything: the good bottle of whiskey, the expensive leather boots, the words we want to say to our children. We act like we're going to live forever, but the truth is, there is no later. There is only right now. The good boots were meant for the mud. The whiskey was meant to be shared. And that trip you've been putting off until the timing is perfect, the timing will never be perfect. The sun is going down on my day, and eventually it'll go down on yours too. Don't go to your grave with a garage full of unused dreams. Use the good stuff today. So, let go of the grudges. Drop the arguments. Say no to the things that drain you. Take care of your health, and for heaven's sake, be proud of the man you've become. I'm going to sit here on this porch for a while longer and just watch the light change. It's a beautiful evening. I hope yours is just as peaceful. Thanks for sitting with me. One day soon, this chair will be empty. But today, my words are here for you. If this reached your heart, please leave a piece or share a piece of your own story in the comments below. Send this to that one friend or brother you haven't spoken to in years, because the sun is setting faster than you think. Join me on this journey so we can walk these final miles together, because there is still so much left to say.